Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about how Marvel fans want Dafne King to replace Hugh Jackman in the MCU as Wolverine because she's hot. So I'm not even joking about this one, and I'm actually a little bit surprised, kinda, not really. But I'm more surprised by the reaction and the comments I've been reading on Twitter. Especially in the mix of like so many people being toxic and not wanting female superheroes and this and that and blah blah blah. So okay, here's the thing, and like I said, this is like funny, but this has been going on for the last couple of months. So as we all know, Dafne King played X-23 in the Logan movie. And by the way, yes, there are people on Twitter arguing and fighting over her name. Some people like X-23, other people like Laura. Because some people say X-23 is like calling Wolverine Weapon X. It's basically like a slave name. Here's the thing a lot of people don't really realize is that she's not real. This is comic book and everything. Plus, you gotta stop and think about the actual character. Now, the live action one is based off of the X-Men Evolution cartoon series, the Latino version, who never had a name, only a designation, X-23. In the comics, there was an Asian one, and she had the designation of X-23. Then she later adopted the name Laura, and then she later adopted the mantle of Wolverine. You know, that female Wolverine that kind of pissed a lot of comic book fans off, and talking about how like Marvel has been too diverse with, Captain Marvel, a black Sam Wilson taking over Captain America, Miles Morales as like Spider-Man. You remember that time in the comic books, Civil War 2 and everything in Marvel, where they say everything's going too diverse and too woke and blah blah. Because most of the mainstream people was either killed off or got too old or just something, you know what I'm saying? And so Disney, Marvel tried to replicate that in the MCU with their last phase and everything. So, after, the X-23, not the X-23, but after the Logan movie and everything, people was, like, a huge fan of this character, you know what I'm saying? Because she was, like, awesome and everything, right? But then after the movie, a lot of people just kind of forgot about the actress and everything. And so a lot of people never knew what she looked like in today's time, because it's been like a long time ago. You gotta remember that, right? I think this movie was probably over 10 years ago. But, people like myself, who's a fan of hers and stuff like that, we've seen her in other projects. I've even reported on my channel she was in His Dark Material, where she was the lead for 3 seasons and stuff, playing Laura and everything. And she was also in Star Wars The Acolyte playing Jackie. So, her appearance is no, surprise to me, because I've seen her literally grow from, like, a kid to a teenager to, like, an adult, right? But many other fanboys have not. And when they saw what she looked like, they kind of lost their minds. So, she kept saying over and over and over again, I'm not in Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm not in that movie. They haven't asked. I'm not moving. Stop asking me. I'm not in the movie. Stop asking me that. Because she's not allowed to say, you know what I'm saying? But many people suspected that she was. Well, the people advertising the movie really wanted people to be hyped for the movie even more. And, she was invited to the premiere week of the movie and everything. But then somebody over at Disney Marvel said, hey, if she's at the premiere, then people might speculate she's in the movie. So let's just spoil this right here and now. So in the last trailer, bam, there she is in the trailer talking to a variant of Wolverine and Deadpool and stuff. And so people's all like, oh crap, dude, she's in the movie. And who the heck is that? They're like, oh crap, that's the little girl from Logan. She's all grown up now. And so the internet really lost their stinking mind. But that wasn't the only time they lost their mind. Because just a couple of weeks prior, Star Wars The Acolyte came out and Jackie was on there. And they had no idea who Jackie was because she was covered up in prosthetics and makeup. And when they put a video on Twitter about her practicing with her lightsaber, she was just in her normal looking self. And people's all like, that's the girl from like Logan, like she grew up. And so they literally lost their minds, right? I mean, they lost their mind. Because like they wasn't expecting her to be an adult and they wasn't expecting her to be so like glamorous and everything, right? Because she still acts, but she also models too and everything. And so like people recently on Twitter want Hugh Jackman to step down as Logan Wolverine for the MCU. 'Cause I think he might have a few more projects before they actually cast. But anyway, they all like screw casting like a short man or a man period to play Wolverine. We want her. And I'm not even joking. They are now starting a campaign on Twitter and online to get her cast as Wolverine, the Ifto Functo Wolverine in the MCU. And, you know, mainly because of two reasons. One, you gotta give it up to her in Logan. Hugh Jackman might be the man. Hugh Jackman might be an extremely good Wolverine and the only live action Wolverine we've ever really had. But because those movies were like PG-13, he wasn't allowed to go beast mode and everything. He wasn't allowed to go berserk Wolverine. And even when he screams and hollers in the other movie, it's good, but it wasn't as great as when she did it in Logan when they finally went rated R. She went buck wild in that movie and she tore up those mercenaries. The screaming, the hollering, the intensity on her face. She was X-23 from the X-Men Evolution cartoon. And I gotta say, in terms of like pure like raw rage and like aggression and beast mode, she did a better job than like, you know, Hugh Jackman. Now Hugh Jackman might be the more superior actor because she hasn't had that many roles under her belt. She's not terrible by no means, but she's not like the greatest actress in the world. She's just like pretty good, okay, you know what I'm saying? And she's getting better with the more projects she is now taking on, which I wish Hollywood would cast her in more stuff so she can like, you know, learn her craft a whole lot better. Plus, if she was to learn her craft better and become like a way better actress, she could become the new it girl of Hollywood and bump Jenna Ortega off like, you know, her current it girl status. And of course, the other reason is because she's attractive. And that's another reason why all these like nerdy fans online want her to be Wolverine now. It's because she is extremely stunning and everything. And it is hypocrisy that these people are now fanning over her, wanting her to be the Wolverine of the MCU. Because what have we heard all through Phase 4? Oh, there's too much women empowerment. There's too many like women in like Marvel now. It's the MCU, SHE and everything. Where all the men at? Blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, and everything. That's all you have been hearing for the past couple of years now with Phase 4. Now, many of these people, not all of them, but many of these people are now starting to change their tune on her, or at least on the whole idea of having a strong female empowerment. And they're all like, yeah, just cast her in the MCU as Wolverine. We're good in everything. And it's all because she's like stunning hot and everything. And that is so two-faced of like people. Now, of course, the real super toxic people, they're probably still on the bandwagon of hating on women and everything. But the majority of people, like the sane ones who've been complaining about phase 4, because phase 4, yes, does suck. And even they want their older people to come back, like Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. And stuff like that. But now they're kind of like, all right, well, we'll settle with this and everything. And it's just odd that they're only doing it mainly because she's hot and everything. And, over the years, I have read some really disgusting comments people have left her on Instagram and stuff back when she was doing his dark material, like some of the most perverted messages and comments I have ever read from a bunch of horny older men and everything. Because she's an adult now, somewhere in her 20s, but some of these comments are just disgusting and everything. Because when she models, yeah, she wears like really like designer clothes, like really nice clothes, and she has really nice hair and can do her makeup, and she knows how to pose. But people are like, I give it a couple of months and she's gonna be like having a nude leak. And I'm just like, what? Like, why would somebody say that and everything? Just because she looks this way don't mean she's gonna be like all those other celebrities and news are gonna leak and everything. But that is like to the point of why like I made this video, is because people only want her to be Wolverine because she's hot. Now I could care less about what they do with the mantle of Wolverine because one, yes, I would like to see the male version of Wolverine, but then if they were to change up later on and bring in the female one to take over the mantle, I'm totally okay with that because like that's what happened in the comics, and as long as they get a good actress, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? And if it was to be her, I'm down for that because she needs more movie roles and I'm like a fan of hers and stuff. But it is really sad and pathetic that the people only want her to be Wolverine in the MCU is only because she's like hot. And I'm just kind of like, people are so two-faced and perverted and stuff. And it really shows you the double standard that these men go on, like, because like so many of them complain, even some of the same people complain that there's too many females and too much women empowerment and too much women this and too much women that. But then all of a sudden when they see a woman they like, then they're like, oh, we don't care, just cast her and everything, because there are still, even the toxic ones, look, they hate women, they do. But if they cast a female role, even when they cast a female role, that's not degrading, putting down men, have a great backstory, have some nice character development, they still will say, okay, this is nice, but they still find something to complain about because that's just how they are. You know what I'm saying? And, but I bet you anything, they will complain if she was to be the female Wolverine, but then they'll probably change their tune after a while or secretly be rooting for it only because of the way she looks and stuff. And, personally, like I said before, in the MCU, I wouldn't mind having the male Wolverine first, but also I wouldn't mind having a solo X-23 movie, which I'm surprised we've never really had. Well, that's right, we couldn't have it in the Fox because of the Logan movie, and that would have undid everything Logan did because he just met her in that movie. But you know what? They really should have thought about that. Put it in the alternate reality, have the X-Men in there, have her like show up how she showed up in X-Men Evolution, taking all the X-Men out, fighting Wolverine, not being able to like defeat him because he's the more superior fighter, and then have them go on a solo movie trying to take down the Weapon X program or something like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that in the MCU. Put her in her original costume from like the cartoon, then a couple of the costumes from like the movie and everything, not movie but crap, the comic books and stuff, and like really do it well, because because supposedly this is supposed to be a Thor Deadpool movie, which I am not looking forward to. Because what is the point? I'd rather see an X-Men movie, and then I'd rather see like a Weapon X movie that centers around like Wolverine, that's better than Origins, and then I'd rather see an X-23 movie bringing her into the X-Men, because in the comics she has a really big like character development arc. She's not entirely a good person. She's kind of like Cassandra Cain, the Batgirl and everything from DC Comics and stuff. She is ruthless and a killer, and she has a good side to her, but she also has a villainous side to her because she's been brainwashed and stuff. So they could really get a lot of good mileage out of that. But I still find it funny that so many like nerdy guys online want her to be Wolverine only because she's hot. You should want it for more than just that. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.